It's never happened to you because it happens a lot to me that I'm watching a game or I'm at the ground and I see a performance and I say, wow, that's got to be among the performances of the year. And then I see another, and then I see another. And at the end of the year, I'm trying to say, okay, so what were the best performances of the year? So I'd urge you to do it too, as I tell you every single time. So I'm going to talk about 10 performances of the year, top of my head, teams, individuals, partnerships, whatever. And then, as I let it sink in, as it did for me, right at the end, I'll do a countdown 10 to 1 to come up with what I thought was the performance of the year. So let's start. I'd start with 4 partnerships that I thought were breathtaking, some in white ball cricket, some in red ball cricket. And I'm going to start with one that absolutely took my breath away. Did you see Tilak Verma and Sanju Samson play in South Africa? And I just thought the numbers were staggering. I was watching it and I said, this is going to end after a while. I mean, this can't go on. They put on 210 at 14.8 and over, 210 at 14.8 and over, and right through that little 4-format series, it just continued. Samson made 200, Tilak Verma made 100 overall. Between them, they made 496 runs from 252 balls at a strike rate of 196. I mean, oh, it was. I'm a great fan of Sanju Samson, but that was the great fun to watch as well from Tilak Verma, bit of Abhishek Sharma. That was insane. The other partnership I want to talk about came in the IPL. This is Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma. Now, Abhishek moves up to the top of the order. Travis Head comes in and they just go boom, 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 boom. Now, the numbers are staggering. They opened the batting 13 times. They made 599 at an average of literally marginally under 50, and they scored at 220. 220. Can you imagine over an entire season a partnership strikes at 220? And I mean, I still cannot get over that game against LSG where they made 167 runs in 9.4, 167 in 9.4. I mean, this year in the IPL, it was just jaw-dropping batting. We kept doing that right through the IPL. So that was one of the performances of the year in my mind. Harry Brook and Joe Root in Pakistan. Pakistan made 550, and then these two come together and they put on 454. That's brilliant in itself, but they scored those runs at 5.4 and over. Test match cricket. What are the bowlers doing? What are the captain doing? What are the field setting? Or was it just dramatic batting? I didn't actually see that happening. I was following the scores, and I thought, wow, this is something else. A triple from Harry Brook, a big double for Joe Root, but 454 at 5.4 and over in Test cricket was amazing. Now, in that same series, there was another incredible partnership, romantic partnership. At the start, you would not have imagined that this was going to happen after the first test. And then Pakistan picked Sajid Khan and Noman Ali, and they prepare turners. Sajid Khan, Noman Ali, turners. They take 39 of the next 40 wickets, taking a wicket every 28 balls at 17.38 against a side that one didn't have the technique, but two that was going to go for it all the time. And can you imagine? I don't know if they'll ever bowl together again. I mean, you never say never. But suddenly these two guys come in, they're not superstars of the game, and they come in and take 39 out of 40. How fantastic was that? Then a team performance. The T20 World Cup in the USA. USA gets entry, and you think, yeah, I mean, they're just there, aren't they? They're just there. And then they come up against Pakistan, who make 159 against them. Now, those are not the best wickets in the world. And then the names start to roll off, isn't it? Just look at the scorecard of that game. Monank Patel, Andreas Gauss, Aaron Jones, Nitish Kumar, Saurabh Netrawalkar. They need to get 15 of the last over. Then it's 12 of 3. Then it's 5 of 1. Haris Rauf is bowling. He actually produces one of the performances of the year later in Australia. And they go over, goes into a super over. Mohammad Amir loses his radar. They go for 19, and then it's defended by Saurabh Netrawalkar again. It was one of the most incredible upsets I've seen. I could not believe what I was watching with the no balls and the overthrows and the wides. And here was a team that actually should back itself to win, completely coming apart under pressure against the United States. It was an incredible performance. Then let's go to some individual performances. I was in Hyderabad watching a test match between England and India. The test match is done for all practical purposes. England are behind by 190 and now they're 163 for 5. And from there, Ollie Pope plays the innings of his life. Did very little before, did very after. But sometimes, you know what it is with people, with all of us, it's happened in our lives too sometimes. We can't explain it and it clicks. And Ollie Pope makes this magnificent 100. England go to 420, bowl India out, win a test match, and you say, why did that happen? That was like a bit like Dinesh Chandimal all over again with Ollie Pope. So I thought that was a magnificent performance. And then there was another against India. India playing New Zealand, lose the first test, 46 all out, go to Pune, they prepare a turner. And guess what happens? Mitch Santner comes in. You always thought Mitch Santner, white ball bowler, varies his pace very well, great control of length, but varies his pace. And then he plays in the test match, and guess what? He picks up 13 wickets. Shades of O'Keefe, Australia, India. Mitch Santner 13, the series is 1-2-0. Was a sensational performance. Raised doubts about India's ability to play against spin, but don't take anything away from a fantastic performance from Mitch Santner. When I picked a batting performance from a young player that I really like. He wasn't picked in the series earlier on. Sri Lanka now down 2-0 against England. And then Pathum Nissanka comes in. He's one of my players to watch out for. He gets a 60 in the first innings. And then in a tricky fourth innings run chase, he scores 100. And guess what? He scores both those at better than run a ball. So Pathum Nissanka makes 64 of 51 balls, hasn't played a test in the previous 2 years, makes 127 of 124 and takes Sri Lanka to a win. Haven't won a test match in England since 2014 and they chased that score down. But I just thought, I was watching bits of that game, watching Pathum Nissanka bat, and he was batting so freely, hitting the boundaries, no pressure at all. By the looks of it in the fourth innings run chase was great fun to watch. So I've finished with 8 performances this year. There's 2 more. There's Shamar Joseph. Have you heard of Shamar Joseph? Comes from a tiny part of Guyana. When I say have you heard of him, I mean before this test match starts. Comes up to Brisbane. And I've done the Australia-Pakistan series before that, and Kerry O'Keefe tells me, watch out for Shamar Joseph. And I say, okay, he talked about a couple of other players and we'd had a little bit of fun at his expense. Now look what happens, what Shamar Joseph does there. 216 to get to win. Australia are 113 for 2. Shamar Joseph doesn't bowl overnight, comes into bowl in the 28th over. 28th over, Australia 93 for 2 with a target of 215, 216. And then he bowls 11.5 overs unchanged. He hasn't bowled the previous day because he's got a problem with his toe. It's incredible on that day. 11.5 overs, 7 for 68 to deliver West Indies their first win in Australia since 1998. And you're watching and it's like, surely he's going to go off after 7. He's going to go off after 8. How many is he going to bowl? He bowls 9, he bowls 10. He just keeps running in, bangs those Yorkers in. And the next thing you know is that Australian batting order has been dismantled. It was a staggering performance from Shamar Joseph. One of those performances that will always be part of folklore. And then, how can you end a year without Jasprit Bumrah? Which of Jasprit Bumrah's performances do you select this year? Those great performances in test matches in Australia. But I thought to pull India back from the precipice, not once but twice in a staggering T20 World Cup campaign. What did Bumrah do in that T20 World Cup campaign? First, just let's look at the numbers, first of all, for Jasprit Bumrah. 8 matches, 15 wickets at 8.26, an economy rate of 4.7, and he's taking a wicket every 11.8 balls. He has performances of 3 for 14, 3 for 7, 2 for 18. Comes up against Pakistan. They need 40 of 36 balls to win that, and he gets Rizwan and bowls a 3-run over. Then comes back, 20 of 12 needed, concedes just 3 and gets the wicket off Iftikhar. I just got the feeling Pakistan was spooked. Then he comes back in the final. Surely the final is over. I'm sitting that day in Bridgetown thinking, there I am at yet another final that India have lost. 30 of 30, comes in and bowls a 4-run over. Then he comes back, it's 22 of 18, he bowls a 2-run over. There's wickets in there as well. Jasprit Bumrah was just sensational. So those were my 10 performances of the year. Now let's start ranking them. Let's go countdown. You want me to pause a while you do the countdown list yourself? Okay, you've probably done it as I went along. Do it if you disagree, that's cool. At number 10, I've got Pathum Nisanka. At number 9, I've got that performance from Mitch Santner in Pune. At 8, that partnership between Harry Brook and Joe Root. At number 7, I've got the Ollie Pope 100 in Hyderabad. At number 6, that sensational pairing of Tilak Varma and Sanju Samson in the T20 series in South Africa. At number 5, I've got the performance of the United States against Pakistan. At number 4, the spin duo of Noman Ali and Sajid Khan. I just love that while it was happening. At number 3, just reimagining what it was to open the batting and max the power play, Abhishek Sharma and Travis Head. And that was right through a season. That brings me to the top 2 performances of the year. And I think if you sat down, you'd have said straight away without thinking, these were the top 2. At number 2, I've gone Shamar Joseph in that test match in Brisbane. And I thought the performance of the year for me was Jasprit Bumrah in the T20 World Cup. What do you think? Did it match your list? Make it. It's great fun.
So thank you for watching and do subscribe to this channel.